Welcome, everyone, to episode 47 of the Worlds Don't Keep. We got exciting news. We got some beta keys that we're going to give out, and details to come shortly.
This news is so exciting!
But yeah, they graced us with some beta keys to give out. So we're going to have some contests going, which we'll discuss while we play, and other various things. Some cool things that have come up, maybe. And I feel a release date coming soon. What do you guys think?
I
feel it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, it's about a 9.
About a 9, yeah. About
An official quote? Yep, Jay Wilson tweeted that we're about a DEFCON 9 out of 10 in terms of closeness.
To announcing a release date.
To announcing a release date.
Yeah.
Not
However,
of game
at
release.
GDC, he is not going to GDC to announce a release date.
No. That was big speculation.
Yeah.
And that is not why he's going there. He's going there to play Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love how people...
I heard that
just
game
sort of-
was... Yeah. Then again, it just came out today, so...
Yeah. I love how people, like, everything that a Blizzard person possibly attends, they're like, are they going to announce a release date there? And it's like, well, do you even know what GDC is? Like, GDC is not a place where anyone announces anything.
What is GDC, for the people who don't
Game
know?
Developers
It's the
Conference.
global, Game Developers Conference. It's entirely focused around, like, either the really esoteric, like, design theory stuff, or, like, actual crunchy programming, like how to optimize your shaders and your workflow.
Ah. More techie side.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's pretty cool. Boom, 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 boom.
So I discovered something that they stealthed into the patch that we didn't talk about because we were all busy. Well, because they didn't even actually put it in the patch notes. I don't know if you remember. A number of episodes ago, we were talking about WSASD controls. You know, the whole direct control scheme, and I came up with that. I proposed that it doesn't actually have anything to do with WASD controls, but is in fact just having direct control over the movement of your character, particularly in circumstances where you're going to get surrounded or you're trying to move around stuff.
Right.
They have, at BlizzCon, I told this directly to Bashiok, to his face, and he gave me this, that's a really neat idea, look, and said he'd pass it on. And now, with this patch, there is a key binding for move.
Really?
You can bind a key to just move. It starts off unbound. At the moment, it doesn't have a default key. It's just empty. But if you look in your key bindings...
Let's do that right now. Key bindings. Gameplay?
Move.
Ooh,
Not set.
I want it to be tilde. No, I don't want it to be
I've got it on
grab.
spacebar. Like, you still steer with your mouse. Unfortunately,
Spacebar,
like,
let's try that.
our viewers can't actually see that we're, doing anything different, but, I am currently holding down
so
spacebar.
Cool.
It's kind of neat.
Yeah, it is.
That saves my fingers.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. That is
So-
awesome.
So all I can hope now is that they're going to like unlock the mouse buttons again, so that I could, maybe pretty please like make left mouse button just attack.
Chaos everywhere, and word in town is that like Danny
Oh, Dan, dare to dream.
this is true.
That's
You mean like your basic attack?
Find us now.
No, just basically take move off of it.
Look, Mom, no hands.
Oh, okay.
Or-
Unbind it from move.
Yeah, unbind it from attack, or the other way around. Move that attack slot, like bind it to just a different key or a different mouse button, and bind left mouse button to move.
Look at you having a direct influence on game development. And people say it can't be done.
If they only knew.
Now, instead of breaking my mouse, I can break my space bar by spamming clicks.
Screw you, keyboard. You're
Oh,
going
that's
down.
awesome.
So, Jay Wilson gave another another tweet. I think it's interesting to talk about it. About
Yeah.
right now, their internal test, they've doubled the damage of all monsters, like what, 1 to 13?
Correct.
1 to 13, tapering off to 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He says it feels really good. Now, why do you guys think they did that? Do you think it's because of the easy QQ? About how easy the beginning is? Or do you think it's something more along the lines of it's balancing because runes added a whole nother level of power to the characters?
I think it's a combination of that and another one, because with patch, it was either patch 12 or 13, they like seriously boosted base hit points.
Oh,
And
wow.
they added runes. I think there's something onto that runes thing.
So yeah, I think it's a combination of kind of like, you know, 3 different things, because I think right now with patch 13, the amount of damage we do versus monster hit points is really good, but you don't really end up in any tight situations ever, because you're not taking a lot of damage.
Another point you can add to point number 1, however, is the fact that this is the highest number of beta key giveouts we've seen so far. Yeah, 10,000, then another set, then another set, then another set. Now we
Wasn't it 100,000? Yeah, they're
100,000.
They sent out
yeah.
100,000.
Right. Point
Holy
being,
crap.
there are a ton of people that have beta keys now,
Mm-hmm.
and even more to come, and it's all ramping up toward the release date. And so, if you had a group of people that consistently complained about it, as new players tend to do, which is, oh, it's so easy, could be a much larger influence.
Well, except I think they don't even need to listen to that, because they've got the direct data. They can see how often people are dying
Right.
and what they're dying to, and you know, and all of that kind of stuff.
Love
So
metrics.
if they've got 100,000 people playing, plus the people who are already there, but I mean, if they've got that 100,000 people, then they don't really need to listen to the QQ on the forums at all. They've got the data to be like, oh, well, you know, no one dies. You know, like 1% of 100,000 die. Like, that's okay. We can afford to turn it up a bit.
Right. I think
If I turn it up, it's double.
in large part, though, like I say, whether you're looking at the number of people from the core data or any of that, it's kind of one of those things to where we've been beta testing for quite some time now. So, you know, it's something that they could have figured out multiple ways by now. But larger point being, by the time it hits these numbers, they kind of thought, well, we've had time to play with it. We think this will be kind of the most beneficial for
The most people.
right, the thing that ultimately will act as a major force to sell the game. Not that it particularly needs it, being a Blizzard game to begin with, but still.
Oh,
Yeah.
Diablo.
I mean, when I got the arcane rune, or the arcane orb rune, yeah, it's just...
That's so
I'm
true.
a lot more ridiculous than I
Yeah.
was before.
Oh, yeah.
Still, you can't entirely use that as a good point simply because the wizard kind of has it the easiest this patch version anyway. And it's because, I mean, Arcane Orb is level 2 to begin with now.
Yeah.
That was
So-
quite a surprise to me.
I
I'm
mean,
okay with it, but...
Still, though, some of the other runes still do amazing things, too. And before, they weren't even planning on releasing runes until you hit Act 2.
right.
Plan on finding them. So
Exactly.
it makes sense
So-
they would pump it up early on. Now that we get runes earlier,
These guys were not prepared for Arcane Nova.
you are not prepared.
Oh, something, just as a kind of side note on the whole, like,
Wow,
since you mentioned that,
Shh. Just let it pass by. They don't know if you don't call it out.
since you mentioned the whole Act 2 thing, I actually did some math, because I was looking at the whole, like, okay, well, why did they make the change, and why did they spread the runes out over 1 to 60? And I discovered, like, once I actually put it into a spreadsheet and looked at the graph, it was kind of crazy. Once you hit Act 2, you gained, like, 50 to 70 options simultaneously.
Really?
The moment that runes started dropping, because remember, all 5 dropped at the same time, or not
Right.
at the same, but like in the same area. You unlocked all 5 colors of runes at the same time, which means that every skill you had gained up to Act 2, you now had 5 versions of.
Right. Oh, that's nuts.
So it was, so the graph just is like, it's like barely going up and then just shoots like halfway up. You gain half of, like, a little over between a third and half of your total skill options in one burst.
That's like
And I'm like,
starting
okay,
the game over.
yeah. And so I'm like, you know what, that right
More
there,
options.
that looks like a problem.
Right.
Totally.
I'll certainly agree with that. That's a very good point.
That's crazy. I didn't even think about that.
No, never occurred to me.
Neither did I. Dan's
mean,
like
and
my coworker, man. He
Yeah.
has metrics set up like crazy. He tracks how many images he look at because I edit images, and like he's worked there for 3 years, and he's like in the million image range, something
man.
like that. Which blows my mind. And me, I'm just like da da da. I don't really care how many images I've looked at.
Yeah. Oh, and so with that, like kind of the
Metrics.
more than that is that with every skill you would gain, you would get 5 at the same time, and so on any level you were unlocking, any given level you unlocked 5 to 15 new skills.
Right. Holy cow. That's awesome. And
So it's like it sounds like totally super awesome if you've already got a head for it, but I'm
Yeah.
like that's drowning in options.
it is.
Like, could you imagine if they did a toast? Like, if they used the current system where they did a toast and it's like, congratulations, you've now killed something in Act 2 that dropped a rune. You've unlocked the following. It'd be going for like a half hour. ring, 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 ring.
Dang it! Go away!
Shut up! I can't carry anymore. They're like charms. What happened?
Oh no, Charm.
Did you know you can put this rune in a skill slot? Every
Just
skill
shut
you
up.
have?
It was actually funny, speaking of charms. So the other day, I wanted to load up Diablo 2 just to play it. So I made a hardcore character, and I wanted to do just the amount of Act 1 that would be equivalent to the beta. It's
Right.
actually been a really long time since I've made a new character in Diablo. And I went hardcore, just so I really knew if it actually was hard. I would have a dead character to show by it. I picked Paladin just because he had a shield. I figured that would probably be useful because it was going to be so much harder than Diablo 3. And I have to say, that game is actually insanely easy.
Really?
It's about the same as it is in Diablo 3 right now.
So
Right,
when
Right, I
Jay,
mean, we all remember that famous Jay Wilson video.
Yeah.
where-
Yeah.
when
He
Jay
goes
showed
out.
us that
Yeah.
video, he wasn't pulling our legs. That was
Right.
not
Well,
doctored.
I figured I'd go to the Blood Raven because that was quest-wise. That was about a third of Act 1. So I went to her. I didn't use a single potion all the way up to her and killing her. I didn't use a potion at all.
Right.
And then past there, I used a couple. I ended up not picking them up anymore because they filled my entire bag up with potions. And one of the things I ended with, I don't know. I just kept going. I ended when I played for like an hour. I got to like level 8 or something. And the funny thing is, I still did not have an active skill to use. I was still using my melee swing. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, no wonder people are so defensive and so desiring of the normal attack being in the game, because you use it for so long in Diablo 2. You don't know what to do without it.
You even use it on a sorceress when you run out of
Yeah.
mana constantly.
Well, and then for the first little bit, it does more damage than your sling. I'm just like, this isn't even fun at all. Like, having played Diablo 3, I can't go back to that game. I can't.
Well, and you know what was really crazy
Recently, too,
was
to
I
go-
remember that when Diablo 2 came out, like a big thing was like, oh yeah, your sorceress, she's just got spells from the get-go, she's not using a staff, like she actually knows these spells and you're casting them, and it was totally like this massive step up in early game from Diablo 1. and we're like, yeah, this is amazing. I'm actually a caster.
And now I feel the same way about Diablo 3. At level 2, I'm annihilating things with spells.
It's so good.
I would like to point out, playing the Diablo 2 beta way back when, what you started out was a barbarian with basically bash and like a passive, and that was about it. Everybody played the barbarian. It was only up to the Blood Raven, and that was it. That was the Diablo 2 beta. It was, kind of fun. I think the most fun part about it was actually dueling. That's really the only thing that kind of kept it going to some degree. Mm-hmm. And also the long-term potential of items that we don't see in the Diablo 3 beta, which would be, even though only chip gems dropped in the D2 beta, you could actually make perfect gems by finding gem shrines. You just had to find enough of them to do it. So you'd see people dueling with 2 sabers, each of them having like 2 perfect gems in them.
Isn't there a level requirement on those, though? Or was that before the gems time?
It actually wouldn't have mattered. There was no level cap.
Oh.
It was only based on how many times could you grind the Blood Raven before you lost your mind.
God.
So
That
you
sounds
could get
fun.
up to about level 20 or so, as I recall. It was roundabouts level 20, and then it was just so not worth it. It's like grinding for like level 99, if you wanted to get to that next level.
That's funny. You get to around level 20 before you lose my mind, and then there's always that one guy who's at like 45.
What the hell?
Dude.
Seriously, I don't think anyone would have made it in that example past, say, level 22. Just wouldn't happen. How long you grind it just wouldn't happen. But,
There's someone out there.
one other funny thing. You know what the most prized, needed item for dueling was?
What?
Anyone remember the sash? The set sash in Diablo 2?
Like the frozen something or other.
It's that red one.
Uh-huh, the red one. Had the stat cannot be frozen on it. The death stat.
Yeah, that one.
Had to have that for dueling because if somebody had a sapphire in their weapon, you were done. So crap like that just made it infinitely more interesting than just the core mechanics.
You got the lame quest.
Like I say, if Diablo 3 beta had dueling, again, there would be no comparison at all. There would be no upside to the Diablo 2 beta, nothing. But that's still the only thing it has up on it.
Man, I got a kick. I don't know what inspired it, but I just got really nostalgic for the second game. And for some reason it wasn't working on my new machine, so I resorted to my old broken down laptop to try and play it. I started playing. Just single player. Oh, I love that game still to this day.
I always
Such
got
fond
just
memories.
a little bit more nostalgic about Diablo 1.
I like
But-
that one too. My buddy actually just got back into that one.
Right. I think it's largely just the ambience, the music, and things like that. That, I don't know, to me we're always better in D1.
Hey, they took note, and they're bringing some of that back. I know I've heard some baby screams in this freaking game here.
Oh yeah, I'm not talking about Diablo 3. I mean...
I know, I'm just saying.
I'm rather impressed with what they've done with this one. But in Diablo 2 it was lacking. That was one of the main critiques I would have for that game.
I still love the hell out of that game.
I
love it
just
so much.
love mana so much. It just makes me so happy. The mechanic,
Arcane
how
power.
fast you run out of it. It's just... Oh, Diablo 1. Every time I think of it, I'm like, yeah, that game had a good feeling. But then I just automatically, my mind goes to mana and how much I hate it.
You know what I really think about looking back on it was how in Diablo 1 there was this strange sort of balance to each of the character classes based on the timing. So the warrior was ridiculously easy starting out in comparison to the wizard, who was ridiculously hard. And by the end of it, the sorcerer could basically just take out anybody, no problem. And the
Never
warrior
had
was
a-
just trash.
Well,
Is
and
he-
that's classic Dungeons and Dragons.
You're right.
It's also OP mechanics when you have a mana shield that absorbs 100% of the damage you do,
Exactly.
and you have mana potions that instantly refill it.
Yeah, but
Okay,
every
that guy we
character
just
could
killed,
have
was
mana
that
shield.
grape wound? Did
was
we
grape.
just fight? Did we just fight a flying thing named Grape Wound?
I didn't see it. Well,
Me neither.
he wasn't unique though, so I didn't really pay attention to the name. The unique one of those I have seen, and I might have a video of it, is his name is Firestarter. And he's molten enchanted and all that.
He's the fire starter, the wicked fire starter.
Hey, look, Drury Brown, Thief
Brown.
of Bones. This guy's unique. I don't think I've ever seen him before.
Did he break the pressure?
Pressure.
Was it psychosomatic, addict, insane?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Just breathe.
I'm just gonna go with it. Yep, totally.
You guys
Stupid
know that
90s.
song? I know that song. It's got like the metal whip sound in the background constantly.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Prodigy.
you're talking about.
Prodigy,
Yeah.
Firestarter.
Yeah, Breathe was their other one.
I'd have to hear it. I'm terrible with names. Even like real people, they'll be like, "Hey, do you remember so and so?" I'm like, "Show me their face, I might." You tell me their name, I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm actually like that with people.
That's what I'm saying. See, if I heard the song, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I've heard that before." Can't recall it from memory though.
So are we refraining from complaining more about the skill UI, or are we gonna complain more about it?
They
Well,
haven't really come
we
out
kind
with a
of are-
patch update, so
I was gonna say we already have done
it'd
it.
just be
so-
beating a dead horse.
I
But-
thought there, yeah, like
I
squeezing
swear
blood
I
out
saw
of
that
rock.
horse twitch.
I thought they said that the current incarnation of just about everything is the way it's going to be in the release.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Like, we had a blue post on that, so it's not even worth. Like, if it's going to be changed, it's going to be changed after release.
Right.
No, whatever. Either way, if it doesn't get changed, I don't really care. I'll get used to it.
Well, yeah, it's
But
one
I
of those,
think Dan
like,
wants to say something about
It's
it.
just so bad. So bad. Like, not the system. The system is fine. Just the UI is so bad.
elective mode is so bad.
Elective mode is really bad.
I thought it was actually very funny. Very funny. And for once, a complainer's thread actually made me smile and even chuckle out loud. Was when he quoted, or actually found, blue BlizzCon footage of them saying that they're showing the progression of the skill UI and their first incarnation, and they're like, we didn't like it because it didn't have all the skills listed on the same screen, and it was all scattered among different tabs, and then I forget what the second point was, but it was exactly something they did. Like, they took 2 steps backwards with the elective mode. It's so funny. It's like, wait, why you guys were so brilliant when you figured that out? Why did you go back? It's funny.
Maybe
They did
maybe
that
I'll
on
just
quite
save
a few
everyone.
things.
Maybe I'll just save everyone and I'll gather all of my talk about how it doesn't actually serve its function and it fails to instruct new players, and I'll just put it in a blog post up on the site.
There you go.
And
That's the thing, man. Like, what was it? 2 episodes ago, people were like, "Wow, you're pretty negative in that one." And I was like, "Were we?" And I guess we caught that complainment bug that's been going around. Happens when
Well.
you get lack of something.
Well, in
Well.
large part, I don't think it was necessarily, just random ranting about nonsensical things. It's a valid point. The
Well,
UI
yeah.
went downhill.
Yeah.
So,
We do
I
have
have to
legitimate
stress
discussion, but
that
I'm
it's,
sorry if the show's overly negative. But hey, man, we're talking about things we're passionate about here.
that's right.
I I think it goes to show that we're not just a bunch of sycophants. We're passionate about the game. I love Diablo 3, but if there's something that I think is objectively busted, then I'll call it out.
Totally. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
could
we're
accept that.
too harsh, really.
No, I don't think so.
The elective. Because I actually think that the normal, if you're just starting out, I think the way it is set up
Wunderbar.
elective vote for people who want it the way they want it, just tedious.
I think the only thing that really just kind of undermined the overall feel of the game to me was the lack of public channels. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was always my primary complaint because I see long-term ramifications of choices like that. Whereas,
going to be in now, though?
well, yes and no.
Sort
I
of.
mean, we have the StarCraft 2 chat channels, which really aren't public. They are private channels, so you still get this weird sort of I'm in an instance isolated from the community feel to it.
Well, they do have the public channels.
In beta, right?
Yeah,
Right.
like in beta, and those are going to carry through, but usability is kind of poor. Like
Yeah.
even just on a like reading the text level, the text is not very legible, and it's hard to separate like who's saying what.
There's a different feel to it, too. I mean, sitting in a BattleNet channel where you can see like everybody's character and everything, it's just, I don't know, it gives you that illusion that you're actually hanging out with these people in a little virtual world with your character.
Now, my question for you guys is, do you actually want to hang out with the people from the forums?
It's not
That's
just people
mostly
from
the
forums,
people.
man.
Mostly the people who are going to talk in those general chat channels are just going to be those guys complaining about how colorful the game is.
Still, though, that's
True,
kind of the
but here's-
lure for
yeah.
it too. You need those
It's
people
background
too.
noise. It's
Oh.
it's like
It makes you feel like you're not alone.
I
Somebody's
couldn't.
out there.
I'm okay with being alone. I couldn't join a game fast enough when I started up Diablo 2, and I come into a game or a channel that, you know, like U.S. BattleNet Canada 3, and it's like some idiot talking in all caps about his penis is too big for someone's mother, and
Dude.
I don't.
Dude.
I don't
that's
wanna-
very important. I mean,
I got
the
so
people of
happy.
BattleNet need to know about XX Sephiroth's mother's genitals.
I got so happy when they implemented that feature in Diablo 2 where once you joined a lobby, it would come up with that screen. You weren't actually in the lobby yet. You had that option, do I really want to join chat or just do I want to hang out
See
here by
it,
myself?
Exactly.
That was awesome.
I never joined a channel from that point forward.
Yeah,
I don't know,
I didn't
maybe I'm
either because like the
antisocial.
spam bots were rampant at that point and I was like, no, there's no point.
See,
The
now
real
if you
community
can
is dead.
Yeah, if you can keep spam bots at a minimum, like if you look at WoW chat channels, trade chat gets a lot of negative gets a lot of negative flack for a lot of it is earned, but there is a community benefit to having that kind of background noise and having a place where people can just sound off against each other about meaningless crap.
Yep.
Right. So it is kind of a let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. I mean, it's not entirely bad, but in large part, it is kind of odd that as we think about it,
Magic
as far
chest.
as the evolution of the chat channels, Diablo 2 had a pretty good one. StarCraft 2 basically had a horrible one that was non-existent, and now the Diablo 3 one currently is somewhere in between. So whether or not it's an overall good balance is technically hard to say at this point.
Yeah. We'll have to
it's-
see on the day.
Right, it's still worth talking about, I think.
I'm gonna derail this train and ask you guys: have you guys seen the insane number of combos people have gotten using
Yes,
this little
that guy with
chest here?
11,000, like,
Oh my
kudos
God.
to him.
11,000?
11,000, over 11,000.
Chain of monsters killed. So if you don't know, there's these awesome people out there who have taken that little chest there, and if you don't kill those little pillars, they'll just keep spawning. I think we've been over this on the show.
Yeah.
So you can just get an insane chain going of monsters killed, and people have done it, posted videos and screenshots of just
Did it have an
11,000
experience?
no.
Oh,
No.
that would have been
I
funny.
know. I was looking for it too. I was like, how much experience did you get for that?
I think it was because he was level capped. I think people said that it actually, after a certain point, the EXP bonus doesn't go up. There is
Yeah.
a cap to.
Because
Like
devs are aware that monsters will just keep spawning.
Like, even if the monsters don't give experience, you could get an infinite chain cap.
Yeah. Well, I got 2 spawn monsters here. Are these guys dead for you guys?
What?
Oh, they faded away. Never mind. I had 2
Oh.
skeleton archers that weren't dead.
Just not to keep kicking the horse, but just one last thing about the whole trade chat idea. Think of the game if they removed all ambient sound. You know, like the hums and the hisses and just sort of the things off in the background, and maybe even the ambient music. Like if they took all of that out, it would lose its luster. It would lose some sense of depth. It would still be the same game, the same gameplay, but it wouldn't feel quite as rich to actually play through it. Eventually, you reach a point where you've heard all of the sounds enough that you can turn them off and not really care, but they do still form an important part of the overall experience. For me, I think that chat channels really fill a similar thing. They're just kind of this background noise that gives you the sense that there's other people out there, that this is a bigger world. It's a community, there's groups, there's things happening that aren't just you playing a game alone.
That's so
true. If you want to just turn that off and listen to your own stuff, cool, go for it. But if you take it out entirely, the overall experience loses something.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, I feel that even with the beta. I mean, if I log on, I'm like, oh, none of my friends are playing right now. Okay, let's see if any public games are going. Yeah, there's public games. Let's try out these little chat channels, and like nobody's talking to each other. It's kind of like, oh, looks like I'm playing solo tonight. Or I'll like, and something happened where every game I joined, like I only get one other person to come in with me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, what's going on here?
Which, it's kind of hilarious. They invite 100,000 people, and then they get a bug that prevents people from joining games.
Oh, that sucks.
I don't know.
So, I think they're
but
getting...
yeah, the point I was getting at is it's important to have, like, that background noise of the community, letting you know that there's other people out there playing, logged on with you.
I'm just going to have to full out go devil's advocate and say I could just be so happy without
That's
them.
you, Ken, okay?
To me,
there's other people out there.
That background noise is the same as a really ugly helmet. When I put it on, I am searching through the gameplay for an option to turn it off, because I just do not want to live with that.
That's
You
your Shaco.
don't like the Shaco condom hat? Is that what you're saying?
No. Oh my god. Years of wearing that thing.
But it's
yeah,
got a
have it
reservoir
there.
at
Just
the
give us an
top
option
in case
to
your brain gets blown.
be solo.
I will, unless there's friends online, and in that case we're using Skype to talk. I don't see myself joining public games a whole lot ever.
See, now, okay, I will give this, like, the whole voice chat thing. That's the one that I can live without, just because that too.
Mind that much.
It's a lot harder to shut out some random 13-year-old screaming racist obscenities into your ear than it is to shut them out when they're just typing them into general chat.
Have you ever used the StarCraft 2 voice chat? It's so bad. It's exactly
I
that.
tried to use it.
Oh, the people, the things they talk about. It's
I recall.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't play StarCraft 2 that much. Mainly at the time, like I said, my computer didn't handle it very well. But I do remember that aspect. It was like, well, I don't really care. I'll never hear this again.
Oh, especially
It's good knowing people like that exist, man. You gotta
My
get
first amulet on this character. Hooray!
people. Oh, he found an Amy?
Yeah.
Drop it and let me check it out. Give it back.
Dropped it in the chat. It does nothing. Nothing.
Give what
useful.
back?
What? It didn't drop. I didn't see it.
Good news, everyone.
I didn't get it, man.
When we're done with Leoric here, I've got about 13,000 gold to craft more of those staves. Let's see if I actually get that double up effect or not.
So, how about them? Yeah.
Shh, busy killing Leoric.
Dun dun dun!
Such
Serious
concentration.
business.
Well, does this mean they're doubling the damage of the like bosses and stuff too? Like, is Leoric getting a double damage?
I sure hope so. Yeah.
Wait, what the heck? I just totally got cheated.
That's
I
actually not bad.
just totally got cheated. I got the Fall of the Black King achievement, it popped up. So this is the first time I've killed him on this character, and no rare.
Owned, son.
Yeah, that does actually happen sometimes. It's just somewhat rare.
Ooh, crap,
No
Mr.
funny.
Handman.
Welcome to Diablo. It's random, sucker.
Random is random.
I've
No,
had two
random is
rares
supposed
off
to
him
work
before.
in my favor.
Oh, about how it goes.
Does anyone have any fallen teeth?
Yeah, I
Heck
got
yeah, I
two.
do. I got 15, son.
Sweet, drop them. I need all I can get.
You can drop your Emmy for me, but I'll be a gentleman anyway. There you go. There's some
Oh,
fallen
guess
teeth for you.
what?
Ninja.
You like that? You like that? Welcome to Diablo, sucker. What are you gonna do about it?
Anything on the
You've
ground
been
is mine.
You have been scammed. Oh,
Oh, I love this game
It is
so
one-
much. Can't wait till it's out. We're getting
All right.
close though.
that.
Speaking of which, let's get into some contest details here. So there was this story published by a dude that goes by Kroba, I believe. Posted it. I found it on the Diablo Reddit. Which, if you don't know about that community, you should check it out because there's some awesome people in there, like Kroba, who decided to share his story of his growing ups with Diablo through playing the first game, the excitement of the release of the second one, and just this really long written out story of his experience. And, you know, it reminded me of my own experience, because we all have our own Diablo story. We're all own unique individuals and have had our awesome and amazing experiences with Diablo, and it holds a special place in our heart. And it reminded me why I wanted to start this podcast in the first place. And it was specifically for that reason, because I had an awesome story and I wanted to share it with people and talk to people who had awesome stories like I did, who loved the franchise as much as I did. And that's pretty much how it got started. So, for one of our contests for the beta keys, we want to hear your stories pretty much. We want you to write down, it doesn't have to be long, but if you got an awesome story to tell about Diablo and your experiences with it, please share it with us. And hey, if you're not in the beta yet, we'll throw you a key if we enjoy your story. If it's one of the good ones. If you wowed us with your story, if you will. And even if you already have a beta key, we'd still love to hear your story. So just go to our site, TWSKP.com or theworldstonekeep.com. Just create an account, and we're going to do 3 separate contests. That was the first one that I just mentioned. We'll have 3 separate posts on there, so just post your story on there and see if you win. The second contest we're doing is going to be a photo contest of your best release face or release date face. And has anyone been? No. So for this one, just send us a snapshot of your best release date face when you find out.
How excited are you going to be when you find out the date, or when you're like coming home with that box,
or when you're getting off work and you're driving home, about to sit down and play for 48 hours straight.
You know,
we want to see your face.
You got your meth and your crack pipe, and you're just ready to go.
So please, same way, share it with us on the forums. We want to see and release it, and we'll immortalize you by streaming it on the show, on our next show when we announce the winners. And we'll pick out some cool stories to share with people too, maybe.
Diablo beard.
No, see, I don't want to do a beard contest because I can't grow a beard.
Yeah.
So I would be ruling out my people on that one. Whereas people like Dan have it in the freaking basket.
it's rude.
2 days and they got a freaking mountain man beard going on.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. I was busy growing a beard.
Oh, rub it in. And the third contest, maybe you don't like those two, or maybe you're like, screw you guys, you know, I don't have a cool story to tell, and I don't have an awesome face. But maybe you're talented in other ways. Maybe you can write amazing songs, or draw friggin' sweet pictures, or make cool movies. Whatever it is, just wow us in some way.
I don't have a
free
good
for all
story,
contest.
and I'm kind of ugly. And I'm not very nice to be around.
So yeah, any miscellaneous talents you have, just send us something cool. Surprise us. That's all you have to do. And we'll put up a 2-week time frame on this one, starting from. Let me pick an end date here. Let me bring up my calendar real quick. Apologies for the dead air. 2 weeks from now will be Tuesday the 20th. Yeah, let's go with that. That's a good round number. So deadline's the 20th. So you got 2 weeks to create a sweet video, sweet song. Send us a picture of your ugly mug or beautiful mug. Or just write us your Diablo story. So, and we'll toss a key your way. Maybe, hopefully, if you're one of the winners. If we decide you're worthy. And that's our contest going on. Details, if you need them, again, will be on the website. I'll make a little front page post for everybody.
Now,
So, yeah!
what we definitely want y'all to do as well with this is we don't want you to make this easy on us. Like, we've got 5 to give away for each of these contests, and we don't want to have to be like, oh, well, which one person do we not give one to? Spread the word. Let's make this hard. Let's get, a good number of people into this, and, really let people know. Pimp it on Reddit, pimp it on Facebook, Twitter, all the social media you can think of. Even, go ahead and dig it.
Oh, dig, what's that? Ancient dinosaur from the past.
Dinosaur. Like, dig up those bones. I'm sure there's someone still on dig. Stumble upon, whatever.
Yeah, share this with anybody, man. There's a lot of really great Diablo communities out there. And hey, we always enjoy having more recruits to our awesome community that we got going on. We got some good people out there. Actually, I haven't heard from Motor Skull in a while. I'm kind of worried about him, because he just, fell off the face of the earth. This is a guy who wrote with us and talked with us, every day. And now he's just gone. It's freaking me out. I think I'm going to do some investigating. Little Facebook stalk.
Do you think he got... Do you think he got disappeared by Putin?
I don't know. I know he got a beta key. Well, no, he was Australian and then moved to Texas to marry some beautiful young girl. And he got a beta key, so that could be it. He could just be...
Do you think he got disappeared by Texas?
I wouldn't put it past Texas.
Oh, politics.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm just going to eat this cookie.
Apologies from anybody from Texas.
Ain't that where that Bushman was from?
Bushman?
No, the Bushman was Australia.
Oh.
George,
I know.
W.
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 Yeah, but don't hold that against him. There's some great people from Texas. My future sister-in-law's from Texas. I'm not saying she's great people, but she's from Texas. Anyway, let's get out of here before I dig myself a deeper hole. So yeah, there's our contest rules, and we want to see some cool stuff, man. We're all about having a good time and meeting awesome people. So if you're one of those awesome people, we'd love to meet you and bring you into our community and hang out with you and play with you when the game's out. Or if you get a beta key from us, it would just be really freaking awesome. So I think on that note, it's time to say goodbye, gentlemen.
What? Goodbye!
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Late.
We'll see you all next time on the World Stone Keep.